How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Infoverse today. I'm the Infomancer speaking, and I'm happy to have you here in the Infinite Realm. Uh, Today I'm going to be doing a video which is unlike any of the videos I've done before. I'm actually going to be reading to you a poem that I've written, and then I'm going to be breaking it down for you as to what each of the stanzas is representing. And then I'm going to read it again. And the reason for this is to help anybody who enjoys to write poetry to understand the rhyme schemes and how it works. And besides that, it's just me wanting to break down my own poem. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. If you do, be sure to hit the like button and maybe even comment. I do always appreciate a good comment. Also, if you like my content, at least some of it, even if not all, maybe hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate a couple of subscribers. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the poem I'm going to be reading to you, I just recently wrote it, and it's called The Path of the Twilight Star. So, let's see. This is The Path of the Twilight Star by the Infomancer. 3 past loves extend their hand. 3 new paths. I'm just one man. The chocolates I tasted were sweet and fair, but in the aftertaste, a bitterness was there. Those pretty flowers, so vibrant and sweet, their beauty would wilt, their roots were weak. The timeless night sky, the twilight star, an ever-shining beacon, both close and far. I sometimes look back on those chocolates and flowers, then thank my night star for her infinite hours. And that there is the end of the poem. So, really short. I'm sure you guys already noticed, but for anybody who didn't, the rhyme scheme of this poem here is A, B, C, B, and there's actually a couple of near rhymes or close rhymes as compared to actual rhymes. For example, extend their hand, I'm just one man. Hand and man don't quite rhyme, however, as you're reading it, they don't sound very different, so you can get away with a rhyme like that. That's a near rhyme, it's close, but not quite there. And so, looking at the first stanza, we've got 3 past loves, extend their hand, 3 new paths, I'm just one man. Well, loves and paths obviously don't rhyme, and hand and man really don't either, but that's that near rhyme thing I was just referencing. So that really does work. And the breakdown of this stanza, the 3 past loves extend their hand, 3 new paths, I'm just one man line, or stanza, it's actually 4 lines. This is actually the narrator, I guess, is thinking and looking back on the past. He's setting up the scene. So it's explaining to you that whoever it is that's speaking, this narrator, he had 3 different love options in his past. And each of them seemed good, but he knew that as just one person, he couldn't be with 3 different lovers. And then it moves on to the next 3 stanzas, which are each about one of those lovers, one of those past loves. So the next stanza was, the chocolates I tasted were sweet and fair, but in the aftertaste, a bitterness was there. Now, this is symbolism, metaphor, whatever you want to call it. It's talking about the first love and their relationship together. And nowhere in there does it talk about her or anything like that with the words, however it does. The chocolates I tasted were sweet and fair. This is supposed to be saying that this love and the relationship we had were sweet and fair. It was good. But in the aftertaste, a bitterness was there. So what's that saying is, despite the fact that everything was good and sweet and all that, there was a bitter aftertaste, and that means it's not really very good. There's some sort of underlying feelings of anger or sadness or something that's not quite right in a relationship, and so something was off. And then it moves on to the next stanza, which is referencing the second love and the second path. And again, it doesn't straight out say, this is the way I was with her and what I think, but instead, again, uses symbolism And it says, those pretty flowers, so vibrant and sweet, their beauty would wilt, their roots were weak. So, what this is saying, her and the relationship is represented by those pretty flowers. And when talking about the feelings that were there and the way it worked, it said so vibrant and sweet. So strong, passionate, good. But then it goes on to say, their beauty would wilt, their roots were weak. So this meant that in this relationship, the narrator knew this love was not one that was ever going to last. It was going to burn strong and bright and then burn out quickly. The roots were weak. It couldn't hold and flourish. Instead, all it could be was vibrant and good and passionate, but only for a short amount of time. And then we move on to the third love, the third path. And again, we're not straight out saying it, but the stanza goes, the timeless night sky, the twilight star, an ever-shining beacon, both close and far. So this is saying the third path, the third love, is somebody as bright and constant as a star. Always there, no matter how far back you go, how far forward, or how far away you move, it's always going to be there for you. And that sounds like a really good relationship to me. And that's basically what he's saying, is this is somebody who he loves, who is a bright beacon in his life, and is ever present no matter where they are or what they're doing. And then we get to the last stanza, where it goes from looking back into the past from the narrator's viewpoint to something that he's saying in the moment. And this stanza says, I sometimes look back on those chocolates and flowers, then thank my night star for her infinite hours. And now this is where it tells you what path he chose and how he feels about it. It says, I sometimes look back on those chocolates and flowers. So sometimes he looks back at his past and he reminisces about the first love, who was related to chocolates, and the second love, who was represented by the vibrant flowers. And so he looks back on them and he reminisces about them. However, when he does this, it then says, then I thank my night star for her infinite hours. And this is where it tells you that he chose the timeless night sky, the twilight star, that ever-shining beacon, both close and far. That's what he picked, his ever-present, ever-there love, the one that was constant and strong and was never going to disappear or fade. And when he looks back on those previous relationships, just like people do, he then thanks that woman for staying with him and being his. That's why it says, then thank my night star for her infinite hours. It's basically him saying, and then after I look back on those past loves, I thank my current love and God and life and whatever, that she is with me, she stays by my side, and she has always been and will always be. And so I think that's really quite a beautiful poem. It doesn't take a whole lot to look into and understand what it's saying, but it doesn't just come out and straight say, oh, I loved her and this, and just straight out there in your face. It's still got some of that poetry, symbolism, where you have to look into it and understand, alright, what exactly is this really talking about? Because it's not really talking about chocolates or flowers or the night sky and stars. It's talking about these women and his relationships with them and the paths he could have had and the path that he chose. So now I'm going to recite it one last time, so that way you guys can really get a feel for how it sounds and enjoy it. And then we're going to go ahead and end this video, because there's not really much more to talk about. So, once again, this is The Path of the Twilight Star by the Infomancer. 3 past loves extend their hand, 3 new paths, I'm just one man. The chocolates I tasted were sweet and fair, but in the aftertaste a bitterness was there. Those pretty flowers, so vibrant and sweet, their beauty would wilt, their roots were weak. The timeless night sky, the twilight star, an ever-shining beacon, both close and far. I sometimes look back on those chocolates and flowers, then thank my night star for her infinite hours. And that is this poem. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys liked the poem and enjoyed the breakdown of it, so you could understand exactly what it was saying and meant. Thank you for tuning in today, and I look forward to seeing you here in the Infoverse again on whatever videos I decide to do. Until then, you have a good one, and I'll see you next time.